Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin-yoku. Preparing for a trip to some of the most spectacular Anasazi ruins in history. Now we're looking at the GFS model showing snow continuing through November, heavy in the west, especially the northwest, as is predicted for a La Nina year. But the big story, final weeks of historic hurricane season bringing new storms. As predicted, Theta and Iota are forming. Keep calm, it's boom time. Now, just like we said, the Philly Inquirer is picking up what we're putting down. With Theta, 2020 Atlantic hurricane season becomes the busiest on record, but with an asterisk. It's not really the busiest. In fact, let's read from here. He cautioned that comparing the 2020 season with those of prior years would be really problematical. Problematical. I don't even think that's a word, but we'll go with it. Given the advances in storm monitoring and the detection that we have continued to improve since the incredibly destructive 2005 season, that was the previous record holder for named storms, those with winds of 39 miles per hour or better, with 28. But it's a fine line. Many of the storms called early were less than genuine. So we're on the cusp, but the powers that be that control the media and the global warming narrative will say otherwise. Let's hear from the mainstream. Well, actually a local guy who has a really great update and what we can expect moving forward.
Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandages here with your tropical update. Now we have two storms out in the Atlantic, one a subtropical storm, one a tropical storm, Eta and Theta. In fact, we may even get Iota before the week is out. Here's the latest updates here. Eta slightly stronger than when we talked about it yesterday, but it's moving very slow. In fact, right now, it's virtually stationary in the Gulf of Mexico. Subtropical storm Theta makes history, 2020. Now the most active on record, 29 named storms beating out 2005. And number 30, the 30th named storm is on the way. Iota may develop in the southern Caribbean. Right now it's got about a 70% chance within 5 days. So here's the comparison, 2020 versus 2005. In terms of named storms, we have surpassed it, becoming the most active on record. But notice 2005 still carries the record for most hurricanes in a season. At 15, we stand at 12 with 5 majors. 2005 had 7 majors altogether. Here's the Atlantic Basin right now. Eta, Theta way out in the Atlantic, and what could potentially become Iota that has now entered the southern Caribbean and headed westwards into very, very warm waters. Let's start off with Eta. Yesterday when we talked, it had around 50-mile-per-hour winds. Now we're back up to 60 miles per hour, gusts to around 70. And the big issue yesterday was it was virtually void of any convective activity. We had hardly any warm or cold cloud tops out there. Now, as we look at infrared imagery, which tells us the temperature of the cloud tops, when we see the shades of white and pink showing up there, that's extremely cold cloud tops, meaning the thunderstorm activity is more intense all around the center, which you can see here is basically stationary just off the northwest coast of Cuba. It's now start to begin to move northwards. Yesterday there was a ridge building over to the north of it, shoving it to the south. Now once that erodes, it'll begin to move slowly off towards the north here in the short term. Visible satellite imagery, you can see we have more of a central dense overcast here with the stronger thunderstorm activity associated with it. And when you look at the water vapor imagery, still a ton of dry air wrapped completely around it. But you'll notice here the system itself is doing a good job of kind of warding off.
Visibility is getting kind of crappy there, so we're going to cut it short. I'll leave you links below if you want to watch the entirety of the video. Now let's talk about record cold and snow. We did an earlier update. We had the internet down for 8 hours, so there's a 40-minute salacious podcast I did earlier today that I put up. So go check that. It will be linked here at the end of the video. Record cold and snow plunge into northern Nevada, which we covered extensively in our last podcast. We saw it coming for days, but it still was a shock to feel the extreme cold after such a warm fall. It was a double whammy, record snow and record cold. Yes, Sunday and Monday. That was their fun day in Nevada. And fall snow turns rightward. Yeah, this is the Sierras into a winter wonderland. They have been waiting, and here it is.
Part of the season right around the corner. Mountain High fired up its snowmaking machines and are hoping to open later this week, but at half capacity due to COVID, so get your tickets early. Snow Valley, Snow Summit, and Bear Resorts are all planning to open in the next 2 weeks. In Wrightwood, I'm sun out strong here today. The snow is quickly melting, but the past 2 days in our local mountains were picturesque. 2 to 4 inches of snow blanketed the mountain town of Wrightwood this weekend, and today people are coming to enjoy it. Why do you like the snow?
Because people can have fun in it. They can make snow angels. They can make snowmans.
Joanne drove up from Rancho Cucamonga.
After 95-degree temps last week, this is so welcomed. I hope it's a great year. Perseus has never been to the snow, and I felt quite guilty. He's 3 years old, so I got to get him back to his natural habitat.
Well, she definitely voted for Biden. So there is snow in the Sierras. National Weather Service gusty winds and chill values at -5 Tuesday in the Casper area. -5 for November. A November to remember in Wyoming. Gusty winds with a cold bite are expected today in central Wyoming. According to the National Weather Service in Riverton, 30-mile-per-hour winds with gusts of 45 are expected from Rock Springs to Casper, making travel with high-profile vehicles absolutely ridiculous. Today's high will reach 38 degrees with mostly sunny skies, and so on and so forth. Chilly day. Rain, sleet, and snow pelt the Twin Cities after a balmy reprieve. Grand solar minimum much? Rude wintry intrusion follows a balmy week. Meridional flow much? But a slight warm-up is expected by the weekend. Yeah, back into normal. This guy looks so concerned. A mix of freezing rain and sleet and snow pelted the Twin Cities on Tuesday, slowing rush hour traffic and dumping heavy wet snow through the night to mark the return of winter after a stretch of unseasonably balmy days. Now road conditions worsen as accumulating snow arrives in the Twin Cities. Hundreds, if not thousands, of accidents being reported. Road conditions are worsening in the Twin City metro as snow is beginning to accumulate on the roads. The metro area is expected to get 3 to 5 inches of snow Tuesday evening, with higher amounts north and west of the metro before snow tapers off midnight. According to Minnesota State Patrol, statewide from 7 a.m. to 4:30, there were 104 crashes and 28 vehicle spinouts off the road for a total of 132 ups. Yes, jackknife semis and other crashes. There were 11 with injury and 1 with serious in Nobles counties. So take heed if you're driving and steer clear of the cocktails, clearly. Now, snowfall analysis from the last 48 hours show the big winner is the Southwest San Juans here at Wolf Creek with 18 to 24 inches and a little red spot up here with 30 inches up in northern Utah. Hello, Uintas. Montana is covered in snow, about 1 foot to 1/2 foot in most regions. So there's that, and more snow is coming, and nobody's bumming, especially in the ski resorts. Move it all the way through towards the end of November, and you can see the record-tilting snow in British Columbia through the Wasatch and down Olympics. Look at this, all the way down to California. Now, the Sierra's not picking it up much, but up here in the Cascades, oh, it's insane. And here in the Bitterroots down through Idaho, and western Montana, huge totals through the end of November. We're going to keep a close eye on those as they develop. Now, weather.gov showing tropical storm watch issued for portions of Florida, storm system impacting the central U.S. Eta will move parallel, but offshore to Florida's west coast through Thursday. Tropical storm force winds are possible along portions of Florida's Gulf Coast by Thursday afternoon, and a tropical storm watch has been issued. Meanwhile, a storm system lifting through the western Great Lakes is bringing areas of snow, ice, locally heavy rainfall, and severe thunderstorms this evening. Winter storm watches and warnings here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Freeze warnings and watches in eastern Oklahoma as well as northwestern Arkansas. And winter storm watches up here in the Idaho and the regions we just showed you. The snow is going to be falling. So there's that. KP 0 warning out now. KP has been at 0 for well, look at this. Over 51 hours with a little peak here up into the 1. But this could lead to, now Ransom's grandmother just had a stroke over here during this, so that's directly related. And I'm sure a lot of you know people who have stroked out during the beginning of this KP0 event. including people on our channel. There's multiple stroke events that I know from our viewers that have happened during this KP0 event. Also, people lose their minds. So people that are depressed or have other mental health issues, you got to keep a close eye on them. Now, luckily, space weather is going to be increasing. We're going to come off of this deck in the next 3 to 6 hours. So no worries moving forward, at least for a day or so. Seismic update. We have the biggest quake of the day is at extreme depth, 416.9 kilometers. That's Blot Echo, 6 magnitude. Nobody felt that it was so deep. But the most recent quake here, 5.0, kicking off in Macedonia at 8.5. Anyone in this region could be damaged to homes and some loss of life. So prayers go out there. Stromboli eruption update. Stromboli volcano, stronger than usual explosion just minutes ago. Here we have a sat view. Here you can see the thermals. Holy macaroni. Now, one more for 2020. Comet Erasmus set to light up the dawn sky in mid-December. It could have an outburst and get much brighter. Provided early risers have sharp eyes, cloud-free heavens, and a decent pair of binoculars or solid telescope, stargazers will be treated to yet another fuzzy cosmic snowball. In the sky, see 2020 S3. Erasmus comes into view later this month and deep into December. Closing out the fall spectacular in style. After previous parade of 2020 comets that included C2020 F3 Neowise, F8 Swan, P1 Neowise, and M3 Atlas. Comet S3 Erasmus is streaking into our solar system with a perihelion just inside the planet Mercury's orbit on December 13th, 2020. Say that 3 times fast. Holy macaroni. Time to smoke. Well, we're about to go on a trip anyway. So we do have a video here. So it's a video night. So let's just do the video and let's just make it happen. There it is, I think. No, that's not the video. The video is here. Damn it. There it is. So let's just blow this up. And I will play the audio for the halibut, but I'll have to remove it. Now, we've changed the playback speed so that we do not get demonetized. Enjoy. Absolutely awesome. Hope you enjoyed it. Scientists recreate Earth's deep mantle in the lab. Well, not necessarily. What they recreated in the lab was their expectation of the deep mantle. And rightfully so. This was an amazing experiment. What they did was they took mantle-like material and recreated the conditions of Earth's deep mantle in the lab, deforming for the first time a real rock at conditions comparable to more than 1,000 kilometers depth by compressing and heating the mineral olivine. And it's a green mineral. It's amazing. People use it in jewelry. But what they did was they heated olivine to almost 400,000 times the ambient pressure and more than 700 degrees C at the extreme conditions beamline of DESI's X-ray source Petra 3, whatever the hell that is. Now, the scientists created a mixture of Earth's 2 most abundant minerals, brigmanite and ferropericlase. These are typical for the lower mantle. Now, the investigation revealed an unexpected behavior of the mixture that can explain certain directional differences or anisotropies. I couldn't even get that out. Anisotropies observed when the Earth waves travel through Earth. As the team around Samantha Cooper from the University of Utah reports in the journal Frontiers of Earth Science. Previous high-temperature studies had only investigated pure samples of a single mineral under such conditions, but what they did here was they actually melted a rock, and it got them equal amounts of the minerals they were looking for, brigmanite and ferropericlase. So interesting what's happening here. So they're able to recreate the situation of pressure and temperature at depth, but they're really not able to recreate the dynamics of what's happening in those regions. It's certainly not a solid liquid core spinning. Something else is happening there. So convection, and that's where they go to, convection. Convection within Earth's mantle is well known. No, it isn't. It's a hypothesis and it is unknown. So statements like this destroy science. It is not known that there's convection in Earth's mantle. It is assumed. That's it. But this article says it is well known. That is completely false. So this is now delving into the sharticle territory. It is not well known to govern plate tectonics. In fact, plate tectonics is a theory. Yes, that's it. It's a hypothesis that is being tested. And the more it is tested, the more it is fraudulent. So, I don't want to go in any deeper here. They still have this stupid picture of the perfectly concentric circles. We know this is far from the truth, but some experiments are actually being done, physical experiments where we can actually glean scientific data. But they're extrapolating it to the extreme of nonsense, obviously. Now, here is another extreme, but not nonsensical. The large volcanic eruption caused the largest mass extinction ever. This is the Permian extinction boundary. Permian, Triassic, right when the dinosaurs were formed. And something happened on Earth that changed the biodynamics here on the surface of this terrestrial planet, which led to the rise of the dinosaurs, which they lasted from 240 million years ago to 65 million years ago. And that's a long time. And since then, we've seen nothing like it. We've had macrofauna and megafauna here, but they all got wiped out 12,900 years ago during the Younger Dryas event, which is probably a huge solar outburst from our sun, which has been happening regularly every 26,500 years, in my opinion. So read the article if you're interested. Now, Facebook is not a private company, in case you were wondering. People call it that. But as early as 2010, it was exposed that the CIA is directly linked to the data from Facebook. And an article that my partner Leah sent over earlier today that we've been corroborating on also shows that Zoom, a platform that many people I know use and I've been on, is nothing more than a spying application. So be wary if you use Zoom. Now, we have a BitChute account, Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Come over and support BitChute. Once I get 1,000 subscribers over here, I'm going to start uploading content that I can't upload on YouTube. This is commentary on COVID-19, the election, and other topics. But I need you to come over here and subscribe to make this venue viable. If I don't have 1,000 subscribers up here, I'm not going to waste 8 hours of my day to make a video for 50 people to watch. Trust me. So let's make a big move. I have 13,000 plus at Magnetic Reversal News, 70,000 over at Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I think 1,000 of you can subscribe over here at BitChute and start listening to some podcasts that are completely, censorable, in my opinion. I have hundreds of ideas of videos and podcasts that I want to produce that are impossible to share on Facebook at all because we'll get copyright strikes and other things. But I can do some fun stuff over here at BitChute. So let's boom BitChute up to 1,000 plus subscribers as soon as possible. As soon as we hit the 1,000 subscriber threshold at BitChute, we're going to be doing some crazy stuff over here, and we might even get famous. That's how amazing the stuff I want to cover is. Now, in less than 18 hours, we're going to be sitting right here up on the upper shelf, 120 feet off the deck at the Butler Wash Archaeological Area. It's going to be some fascinating footage. There was a community here of hundreds, if not thousands of people 1,000 years ago. And we're going to be documenting that in just a few hours. Hope you got something out of the video. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We have an amazing team going out to Butler Wash. The snow is not stopping. It's increasing at record levels, especially in the Northwest because of La Nina, which we predicted. And we've predicted many other things, including the formation of Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron. Who knows? Record snow, record cold. All the things that we've been predicting for 4 years coming true before your very lives. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to our one-time donors, our Patreons. And prayers go out to the people that suffer from the space weather events that are coming and making many people bumming. We love each and every one of you. And we'll see you tomorrow live at the ruins. Butler Wash tomorrow, followed by a Thursday extravaganza in Road Canyon and Lime Canyon. Some of the most well-preserved Anasazi ruins anywhere in the world. Be safe. That's a boom.